will the Niners really hold out for a first rounder in exchange for Garoppolo? That's the report, that they want a first, and that's what they're going to wait for. Do you buy that? Anyone can start.
You want to start with me?
Yeah, sure.
I think that's what they'd like, but I don't think that's what they're gonna. I think they're gonna settle for less. You know, if you're in negotiating, you got to set the bar high, and then that way you could, if they said, oh, we'll take a third round, then they're gonna get a fourth. If they're shooting for a first, maybe they'll get a second, conditional first, something like that. But I think. And I think in a further topic, I'll probably talk about it a little bit more, but I really think that they have to get rid of Jimmy for a multitude of reasons. And I think that they're going to take something within like second, third round pick, couple of thirds, something like that. But they're putting the right message out there that, hey, we need a first.
Yeah, of course they would like a first rounder. Everyone like a first rounder for anyone they can get. But in this case, I see no way in heck that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to garner a first or even a second. I think if you can get a third, best case scenario, even a fourth, that's a win for the 49ers in a way, especially since you're going to have already your franchise quarterback on board. What's Garoppolo going to do? And even if you keep him, say they do keep him this year, and he tries to boost his stock to get traded in the offseason, what are the odds he's actually going to be healthy to do that? I mean, Come on. He gets injured again. Now it's like, great. You thought his stock was bad before? You're going to have to cut him after next year. So that's why I think right now there's no better time, because fourth round kind of seems like fair, maybe even fifth. I feel like fifth is going to be the best they can get for him. I mean, third, fourth would be great, but I think fifth is going to be something like New England's probably trying to push for. Like, hey, how about a fifth and then a conditional? That's something that's going to be for Garoppolo. It's going to have to be a conditional pick because of his starts, because they already know he's not healthy. So in New England's case, if they did say, they made that the start or the trade, they could do that because they have Cam there. So I think the 49ers are going to really try to. That's why they keep saying, "Hey, he's our starter." AKA New England, boost that trade value up, because we're not letting them go for more than a first or a second.
Yeah, I think that they should be definitely going after maybe not a first rounder, but maybe a second round, like a deal like what the Eagles did with Wentz, where they take a second that can be bumped up to a first. Because I think the 49er folks out here are really downplaying what Garoppolo's worth is. He's easily worth as much as Carson Wentz. If you look at Wentz's best season in 2017 compared to Jimmy Garoppolo's best season in 2019, the numbers are almost the same. They really are. You can say what you want as far as the missed throws and everything like that, but his yards per game is only about 5 yards less per game than Wentz put up, and his touchdowns are right there as well. So, I think, and he went to the Super Bowl. He didn't get hurt that year. He went all the way to the Super Bowl. So he's played the full year and actually been successful when he did it. So I would say probably a second that can be bumped up to a first is what they're really shooting for.
Yeah, and if that's what they're looking for, they're probably going to have to get picks in 2022, I would imagine, right? Because the condition will be on what he did next year in the season. So you wouldn't necessarily have to make the trade now. It could be you could make the trade in training camp or during the season.
You're going to want to make that trade for him at some point. I think you're going to want to make it sooner than later. But you're going to make that trade for 2022 because you're already set right now, and you don't have that first round pick. So that's where the Garoppolo pick, why that whole trade isn't a big deal if they can get that second or first round for Garoppolo in 2022.
So this is what I'm thinking is you should set the bar at a first round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo, and I don't understand the urgency to move on from him right now. And if you do trade Jimmy Garoppolo, what it says to me personally is that the 49ers are set on not making the Super Bowl this year, regardless of who the rookie is that's coming in. It's never been done before. A rookie has never led their team to the Super Bowl, let alone won it. And with Jimmy Garoppolo on the team, you have a higher, more favorable odds of getting to the Super Bowl and winning it. If you look at cap space right now, you have $20 million. What does moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo do to you right now? How does that make you a better football team or a worse football team in 2021? It makes you a worse football team. It does. How can cutting a veteran quarterback that's been in the system going on, 5 years now, this is going to be his fifth season, it's better for him to stick around. And financially, it makes no sense. You have money right now to extend Fred Warner. You can extend Fred Warner right now with the $20 million that you have. If you cut or trade him and you clear that $23 million, what do you need that money for right now? So that's why I think You try to get that first round pick because that'll be worth it, even if it's in 2022. But if not, it's a good problem to have two competent quarterbacks, especially after seeing what happened last year. If the 49ers had better quarterback play, a better QB2, they'd be in the playoffs. And you're trying to get into the postseason and keeping Jimmy Garoppolo around. What if this rookie comes in? We're also kind of assuming that this rookie is going to be the star of the show from day one. What if he's not? What if from day one of camp, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are like, this is going to take a little bit longer than we thought. Then you still have Jimmy Garoppolo right there who led you to a 13-3 season, helped you get to the Super Bowl just 2 seasons ago. So Jimmy Garoppolo's value on the 49ers is higher than getting a day 3 pick for him. That would be a terrible trade, and I would roast the 49ers front office for a trade like that because the quarterback issues last year, why would you not want to have as many competent quarterbacks on the team, keep the Super Bowl dream alive for this immediate upcoming season? I just don't see what their urgency is to get rid of him. So, yes, get the value that you feel he's worth.
So you slow down the rookie's development and cost control just to start Jimmy injured Garoppolo? That's not wise right there.
Well, the cost
for a year.
That's a waste of a year. That's a waste of a year.
You can look at it as a waste for. Let's just say Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt, which the odds of that.
Guys, we're getting ahead of ourselves. That's the next topic. Hold on. Let me get my word in, and then we'll move on to this topic. That's the next topic. We're gonna get there. Hold on.
It's not your show, Grant.
Hold on. In terms of them holding out for a first round pick, I'm with Jack here. The best they can do is a conditional pick. If they hold out for like a first round pick, what Jimmy would have to do would be play 16 games, go back to he'd have to play better than he played in 2019. He'd have to basically win the Super Bowl. And in that case, why would you trade him? Like, remember when the Chiefs had Alex Smith and they drafted Patrick Mahomes and Alex Smith led the league in passer rating? They got a second and they got 2 conditional. They get a 2 and a conditional 1. They didn't just get an outright first round pick. They got conditional picks that could move up. So I don't think there's much Jimmy can do. If that's what they want, they're going to end up just cutting him. They're going to have to settle for a conditional that can move up. That's what they have to say.